Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us here at Turning Point Academy. We're so glad to have you as our breakout speaker here at AmFest. Can you intro us and tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the Supreme Court case against teachers' unions in California?
Well, sure. First of all, thank you for inviting me. It has been a wonderful experience being here. What an honor. I'm just delighted to be here at AmFest this year. So, how I got involved in the United States Supreme Court case against the California Teachers Association and the National Education Association really goes back to my morning Bible study. So every morning especially when I was teaching, I would get up at 4 a.m. because, I had to leave the house by 6 to get to school. So I would get up at 4 a.m. and I always gave my first fruits to the Lord. Just spent the morning doing my little Bible study, just alone, just by myself. So throughout that, you know how it is with when we have faith, we see a problem and we take it to God. So we had all these problems in our school, like everything was wrong, corruption and all these horrible discipline issues. And I knew it was all driven by policy. And I knew the unions were the problem because I had spent many years learning about the issues that the unions were creating in our schools, the sex ed, all of it. So this was in 2012. I had just decided to serve as a union rep for 3 years to try to change things from the inside. So when I did that, it didn't work. It was like banging my head against the wall. The union doesn't want to change, right? But I learned a lot. I learned a lot being on the inside. So I come out of that experience and I said, Lord, this is such a mess. Can you please fix it? Can you please help us? I'm forced to fund these unions as a condition of employment. I don't want to fund this evil. I don't think that's right. It's unconstitutional. So through my Bible study, I just felt God telling me to speak out, to just really speak out, not just at my local level, but to get the message out. So I started writing editorials to expose the unions. I had no idea how to submit an editorial. I didn't have any connections. I was a kindergarten teacher. I literally knew nobody. And I remember asking God, wait, you want me to write editorials, but I don't even know how to send them. And God's message to my heart was, that's my problem. You just write them, you just do what I ask you, and I'll take care of the rest. And boy, did he. So I start writing editorials, literally sent the first one to letters to the editor because I had no idea what to do with it. It was totally lame, but they published it. And within 6 months of my first editorial, I received this email one day. And the email was from Christian Educators, which was an organization that you join if you don't like the unions and you just kind of want some extra support. So I was in this organization and I get this email, hey, there's a group of lawyers and they're considering bringing a case to sue the teachers unions to stop forced collection of dues. Is anybody interested? Oh my God. I read the email and I look at my husband, please say yes, please let me do this. And I read it to him, he goes, go for it. He couldn't stand the unions either. So I sign up and long story short, I end up being the lead plaintiff. They end up naming the case after me, which I think is because I was already writing about the unions. I had a lot of knowledge, a lot of details. And so all of a sudden, there I was, kindergarten teacher, having to go on national television and tell my story. Had no idea what I was doing. And but God walked me through the whole thing. And when I look back on it, I thought God just wanted me to write literally one editorial for my local newspaper, but he had a much bigger plan than I did, and it's completely changed my entire life. So that's how I got involved. Why I stay involved is because I believe in that if we don't end the reign of government unions, including teacher unions, we won't be able to restore this country. They're the problem. They're the root cause of the problem. So that's why I stay in the battle, continue fighting them.
Talking about bringing things local, how can local parents and teachers get involved?
Oh, there's so many ways. So first of all, parents and teachers used to be the only ones controlling our schools. We didn't have all these special interest groups. We should not have Planned Parenthood in our schools. We should not have Southern Poverty Law Center and ACLU in our schools and unions the unions are the ones that open the door to all of that. So the first thing parents and teachers can do is start helping us to get these special interest groups out. Are you funding one of them? Are you funding the unions? Please stop. You don't have to fund them anymore. We fought for you. We took it on the chin for you. Don't have to pay them anymore. Go to our website for kidsandcountry.org. We walk you out of it. Just walk you right out of the unions. Free of charge. You'll save, $1,000 a year or $1,200 a year, whatever you're paying in dues. And most teachers are terrified that they're going to lose their liability insurance, and that's why they don't leave the unions. They can get better coverage for a fraction of the cost, and we lead them to that on our website too. So teachers, don't pay the unions anymore. That's the first thing teachers can do. Parents, don't pay the PTA anymore. The PTA is totally corrupt. It's run by the unions, and it happened in the 60s and 70s that the PTA was completely infiltrated and bullied into a stance of submission. So now they only do whatever the unions want them to do. So are you funding one of these organizations? Are you funding the school board association? Are you a school board member? And your school board's paying the taxpayers are funding it for you. But have you flipped a school board recently? All you have to do to get rid of the school board association is a majority vote of your school board says, we don't want it anymore. So it's easy to get out and don't pay them anymore. So all these special interest groups, help us get them out of our schools. The hardest one is the PTA because people think it's nice. The parents at the local level, yeah, they're nice. But look, the PTA is corrupt. At the county, state, national level, totally corrupt. Just to prove it, I'll tell you, I've been testifying at the State House against sex ed. Guess who's standing there for the sex ed? The PTA. I am not kidding you. The PTA and their lobbyists. So the PTA is not they're not who they say they are, right? They used to be, but once they got infiltrated, they're not who they say they are. So the first thing we can do is stop funding the enemy. The second thing we can do is stand together. One of the things that's been so heartbreaking about what the unions have done to our schools, they're experts at divide and conquer. And they have divided. And they have almost conquered. It's this close, right? I was talking to a principal the other day, great principal in a public school, doing amazing things. But he told me the teachers, immediately when he became principal, teachers didn't want to trust him anymore. Why? Because the unions have told teachers, don't trust the administration, don't trust this. I've seen that my whole career. Stop listening to that nonsense. We all have to work together. Okay, if you're an administrator, I'm just going to say it like it is. Some of these administrators, they're snobs. They think parents don't know anything. They think, oh, we know better. Stop it. Parents know best for their own children. And we are supposed to be working together. We're supposed to be a community, right? I call it the education triangle. The child's at the top, the parent here, and the school is last. And that triangle works together to serve that child so the child can learn well. My husband's Aunt Jelaine taught in a one-room schoolhouse, okay? She never had a student who didn't read well, never had a student who was a discipline problem, 46 years in a one-room schoolhouse. When I asked her, what was your secret? She said, the parents supported me 100%. That's what we need to get back to. Parents and teachers working together, get rid of all this other nonsense. Special interests. Also, our school districts have gotten very top-heavy. Very top-heavy. We don't need all that. I'm sorry, but some people need to lose their jobs. And also, I think one of the best things parents can do is homeschool. And if you're a parent and you think, I can't do it, I just don't have it, you've fallen for a union talking point. Because for decades, the unions have been saying parents can't teach their kids, only the experts can teach your kids. Sorry, union talking point, it's a lie. We have to knock it down for what it is, a lie. Parents are the number one best educator for their child. Now, maybe they don't know how to do the math or whatever. So that's where the teachers come in and support you. We work together. So there's a ton. You guys have your academy schools. They're amazing. So start an academy school in your community. Homeschool your kids. Choose anything but your local public school. And if for whatever reason you feel called to be in that local public school, do not sit silent. Get involved. Get on the school board. Go to every school board meeting. We flip school boards and then nobody shows up for the meetings, right? They need support. Help in the classroom. It's nonsense that a teacher won't let a parent in the classroom. The parents need to be in the classroom. So just get involved in every way and push out the special interest groups.
In your opinion, what is the key thing to make education great again in America?
I love that question, and it's an easy one. Go back to what we used to do. That's all we have to do. Return to what the founders did when they set up this country with their one-room schoolhouses and their classical curriculum and the Bible and, teaching Western civilization and accurate history and astronomy. It's all out there for us. Go get a McGuffey reader again, right? Return to phonics. Only phonics. No sight words, people. The sight words confuse the brain. It's phonics, phonics, phonics. Straight phonics. If we do that, if we just go back to what we used to do. Go back. We don't need new books. Go back to the old books, right? We can update current history, but most of it, we don't need to update at all. Just go back to what we used to do. America was great because of it. America will be great again if we can get back to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, is there anything else, any other last advice for our friends and audience of Turning Point Academy?
Well, I think the first thing I would say is God bless you all for what you're doing. Keep it up. Um, I've been in this battle for a really long time, basically since 1987. So I can say from experience that there are times when you get down and you want to give up. Don't. Please don't give up. What you're doing is so important. So thank you. And then I guess the only advice I could give is, just continue working together and making it easier for others to join, right? Starting more schools. I'm so inspired by the way you all are making it easy for people to start schools, or they already have a school, but they want to make it better. They can just learn from you and they don't have to take it all. They can just change some of it. That's great. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, right? And the last thing I would say is America was great. Well, Alexis de Tocqueville told us America was great because America is good, right? And America is good because we were reading the Bible, we were going to church, right? We're godly people. So we need to get back to that. No matter what anybody says to us, don't let them mock you, stand firm and proud in your faith, right? Because God's who made this country great. The other reason this country was great is because our schools were great. And because our schools were full of truth, God's truth.
Oh, that is incredible. Thank you so much for the work you're doing and to revive education here in America. It is so important and it's such an inspiration. And we're so glad that you put Christ at the center of your life and that it shapes the way that you do what you do.